This is what that building used to look like before the explosion took it down. It was a sappy paper mill on Muskegon Lake. It was the heart of the community and provided jobs for many families and many individuals. Today, its effects of the explosion are very clear, and things have still not been completely cleaned up. So in our system, who decides what businesses stay? Who decides what businesses go? Who decides that a thriving paper mill, or once thriving paper mill, is demolished? Who makes those decisions?
Most people think about economics as the study of money. And certainly that's a big part of economics. But another core piece of the study of economics is how does opportunity and risk play into our investigation of money and our attempts to attain money. When we look at the world, there are a few basic fundamental ways of approaching this. In this video, we'll talk about two of those concepts: a command economy and a market economy, and then a mix between the two called a mixed economy. But essentially, at its heart, there are two types of economies. We have a command economy, where we have a leader and two followers. In the command economy, the leader is telling the followers what to do, what to buy, what to sell, how much to buy it for, how much to sell it for. It's coming from the top, going down to the general population. In this economy, these two individuals are virtually powerless, and all the power ultimately resides with the leader. The opposite of that is a market economy, where not only is there a two-way between leader and the public, but in fact, there's a two-way between public and public, so that the general public themselves are interacting and buying and selling things in a way that makes sense to them. You can think about it with a couple different charts. In the one example, we see the command economy is very much top-down, tells people what is valuable and what is not valuable. And then in the market economy, it's the markets themselves that really speak to the value of objects or services. When we think of a command economy, we tend to think of communist countries like China or North Korea or Cuba. This is changing a little bit right now. China is becoming less and less of a command economy, but it still is very much a top-down measure. When we think about a market economy, there really aren't any pure market economies out there. The governments play a role, but certainly the United States is at least incorporates some parts of that, as does Canada, although in both of these we would really call it a mixed economy, because the government definitely plays a part in how these economies interact, and it's not a pure market-based system. If we were to think of a market economy, it would purely go on the price of the market. And the markets themselves, there would be virtually no government involvement, and the markets themselves would dictate what the prices of goods and services were bought and sold at. As I said, there's virtually no country where the government takes a complete hands-off approach, but at least as far as the conception of economics goes, that's at least a theoretical possibility. So, to recap, we have three basic types of economies. We have a command economy, where the leaders dictate to a general public what is bought and sold. And then we have a market economy, where there's a two-way street, and a mixture of both of these, government being hands-off and government being hands-on, is called a mixed